Welcome back to another edition of Stuff You Don't Usually See. You guys know how this works. Every week we record a segment for a group of local radio stations, but we are letting you see what that looks like behind the scenes. So, my guest today is College Station Municipal Court Judge Edward Spillane III. Sorry, I botched that a little bit.
Well, good morning, good afternoon.
Whatever it is.
Whatever it is, yes.
So, sorry to surprise you that there are cameras on this thing too. But we're going to make this thing work. So you ready to do this for real for radio?
All set.
Okay. Don't mess up.
Yeah, I'm glad to see behind the scenes.
Right?
I guess I would anyway, but yeah.
You would. Okay, here we go. Well, thank you and good morning. My guest today is College Station's Municipal Court Judge Ed Spillane III. How you doing, Judge?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so real quickly, you and I have known each other for a long time.
That's right.
So starting when you were a prosecutor for the county?
For the, District Attorney's Office.
So do you miss being a prosecutor versus being on the bench?
Yeah, there are occasions where I miss being able to cross-examine a defendant, but as a municipal court judge, since a lot of times there aren't attorneys, the judge does get to have more of an active role than a district court judge who's really kind of a referee. So I do get to ask questions, but I mostly miss though seeing the other attorneys and the collegiality of an office like that. But
yeah.
But I enjoy my place here too. It's been a while.
So how many years have you been the judge?
I've been a judge since 2002, so it'll almost be 20 years. It's been 19 years. I spent 8 years with the DA's office, so we've been here in Brazos County since 1994.
Man, time has flown.
Time flies when you're having fun.
So one of the hallmarks of your time with College Station and the things that you do in your profession, I think it's fair to say, is that you have been pretty innovative in coming up with all kinds of ways to keep people out of jail. And again, you have been sort of preaching this throughout Texas and throughout the country.
Exactly. Right? I mean, my whole goal is for people to finish their cases and not end up in jail. It never is a good situation, obviously, for them, and it's not good for our court. So, and we've preached that throughout Texas. We had a new law passed about 3 or 4 years ago that if you show up to court and you have an active warrant, you can't be arrested. I mean, we do everything we can to get people to come to court, and then obviously, preach. If it works here, then have it work throughout Texas. Yeah. Because most of the people who is on Class C misdemeanor, fine-only offenses, if you're in jail, it's either because it's almost always your economic circumstances, and that's not a reason, or you just blew off court, and if you just blow off court, that's not good for you either. So,
yeah. So one of the ways, and this has been a tradition for a long time, but one of the ways that you really try to help people stay out of jail and take care of their business is through an event called Warrant Amnesty. And I know we're kind of in that period right now. Talk about Warrant Amnesty.
Sure. It was so popular. We do it twice a year, and there even is a statewide amnesty and roundup in the spring. But what it is a warrant amnesty means if you have an active warrant and you come to court and you take care of your case, then I'll waive the $50 warrant fee. And more importantly, you won't be arrested. So, you won't have to pay that $50 per case warrant fee, and you won't be arrested. And so we do that to just get people to come to our court.
So how successful are those amnesties, year to year?
Year to year, we generally clear about 800 to 1,000 cases just through that. And sometimes the spring is more successful than the fall. It all depends. Sometimes people say, well, they got their tax return check or other reasons, but whatever, if it's even 20 people, that's 20 more people that weren't arrested. But usually it's about 300 or 400 actual citizens who come in and take care of their case, which is really great.
Do you tend to have very many people who come in and say, hey, I heard about this. I didn't even realize that I had a warrant.
Sure. And sometimes people, we urge people to call our number. If, sometimes people have a warrant and they don't know which court. We can look it up for you. We can help you with that. So, yes. And we have people who don't realize they have a warrant. So we've done everything we can by, listing our warrants on the website. urging people to call. And, during the pandemic especially, we proactively call people too. We always call and send letters to the last known address of anyone before we put it in a warrant, while they're in a warrant. We do everything we can to reach out to people.
Okay, so I snuck a peek before we started this. On our website, which is cstx.gov/warrants, where you have everybody with an outstanding warrant listed in alphabetical order. It's very, very easy, very user-friendly. There are 207 pages of names, and some of those outstanding warrants go back a fair number of years. How does that work? How do we see people who have these outstanding warrants that go back a good ways?
Legally, once your warrant is active and a complaint's been filed, as long as it's within 2 years of your offense, the warrant can be out there forever. And, now sometimes, a prosecutor may decide to drop it after so much time, but, that's up to the state. But if you have an active warrant, it can be out there. And now with data flying around on the internet, that can follow you 10, 15 years. We really do urge people to check into it, because you don't want to have an active warrant and you're, going through the airport, or, I can just envision it's only going to get worse, the type of people who share information, especially on warrants. So, but it can go on as long as the court holds the case, and as long as the state wants to pursue it.
Yeah.
It's good as long as a complaint's filed within 2 years. So.
Right. So your warrant amnesty period extends through November 5th.
November 5th, our warrant amnesty. And I do want to say, and you helped remind me, we are going through a software change at our court. So November 4th and 5th, that Thursday and Friday, we're closing court. However, you can call the court, you can go online, and also the following week when we're doing a warrant roundup, if you show up to court, you won't be arrested, and I'll waive that warrant fee then too. But from November 6th to 14th, chances are if you didn't take care of your warrant, local law enforcement may fine you, because they're going to focus on Class C warrants, and you'll be arrested. And, if you're driving around and you didn't come to court, you're going to get arrested. That can happen during the amnesty too. I mean, you need to come to court, call us, take care of your case. There's lots of things we can do. We can work on payment plans. We can, so you just have to come to court. It'll only get better if you come to court versus ignoring it.
Yeah, it could be an embarrassing moment. It could be a work.
It's never good.
Yeah.
And you're booking photos online until you figure out a way to get that off under Brazos County. So, yeah, you do not want to be arrested at all and have an arrest record.
Okay. So, again, warrant amnesty continues through November 5th. The roundup is November 6th through the 14th. You can figure out if you are on our list of outstanding warrants at cstx.gov/warrants. What did we not talk about that you want to make sure
I'll just
folks
mention
know?
real fast that our phone number is 979-764-3683. So you can always call us too, and we'll help you as well.
Okay. The Honorable Judge Ed Spillane III. Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Honorable Jay.
Oh, thanks. Hey, and thank you guys for letting us come on and talk about the city of College Station. And that was stuff you don't usually see.
Hopefully I didn't bang the table too much.
No, you did fine. You did great.